A thread by Brian Cates. The lunatics are angry. From Bleeding Heart Liberal Marine at Zaharako. Trump wants to erect a statue of Antonin Scalia and Billy Graham. Might as well throw Putin in there too. See, here's the problem with being a demented, far-left, democratic socialist. You've been in that small bubble so long that it doesn't even occur to you that 80% of this country is going to find your Billy Graham hot take offensive. First, look at proposals for Billy Graham statues from Hassan Shanawani, H. Shanawani on Twitter. Oh, look, they're saying that Billy Graham is like the devil. Okay. Anyway, these people might subconsciously sense what's coming over the next 4 months. So they are lashing out viciously at Billy Graham, Antonin Scalia, and Trump's speechwriter, Stephen Miller, all night long. Trump drew the line in the sand last night. His campaign is going to be a defense of the common culture and heritage that binds Americans together. Biden and the Democrats are going to spend the next 4 months excusing and enabling attempts to destroy that culture and heritage. 80% of this country are not commie flag-waving anti-American lunatics. I'm being very generous in saying up to 20% of the country will play along with this radical, revolutionary agenda that the Democrats, have embraced. It's probably more like less than 10%. And as I have been saying, these tiny Marxist mobs and the Democratic Party and the corporations that sponsor and enable them are only getting started. We have 4 more months of this insanity to go. But remember, a vote for sanity can be made on November 3rd. Every single time Trump holds a rally, they're going to try to keep people from getting in one way or another. They will block roads. That was a really nice trick yesterday, using 3 large vans to block the road and removing the tires. At the Tulsa rally, they blocked a key entrance, and so hundreds of people didn't get in. They've made it clear this is a tactic they will employ at every venue that they can think of a way to use it. But notice something. All that road blocking stunt yesterday did was once again prevent a few hundred people from attending. The actual event went off without a hitch. The protesters didn't delay anything. Looked to me like everything went according to schedule. So, we're about to get 4 months of increasingly frantic and desperate Democratic Party goon squads showing up at every Trump event, trying ever more creative ways to disrupt the even and or keep people from attending. This is not going to go the way they imagine it will. Trump and Barr will adapt. They will improvise. They will overcome. Events will go on. They won't be stopped. When everything else fails, the radical left will revert to the strategies it used back in the mid-1960s to the early 1970s. They'll start setting off bombs. Everybody who just spent months claiming these were not terrorist groups is then going to have to make a choice. Will they keep supporting, enabling Antifa, Black Lives Matter, as they resort to a bombing campaign? Or will they renounce them? It's going to be interesting to see what happens. See, right now, these radical lunatics are deceiving themselves. They think they can force the changes they want by having their ground troops rip down some statues and give cover to the D Party to unleash hell on the country as they try to fight America's systemic racism. What these Marxist ideological lunatics are really attempting to do is tear up the American Revolution and replace it with a Marxist cultural revolution. And When 80% of this country figures that out by watching these lunatics in action, the backlash is going to be severe. When they realize it's not going to happen, even with corporate sponsorships, that 80% of America has firmly rejected their democratic socialist agenda for the country. They're going to give up on tricking people for votes and using deception to get into power. They're gonna turn to terrorism. If that silent majority won't play along with a Marxist refounding of America, well, forget the whole election thing, and they'll try to terrorize the country into giving them what they want. But this isn't the 1960s anymore. Barr and every single federal law enforcement officer and intel agency have already gone to work on this. So I'm not worried about it. They've already mapped out the leadership of the various BLM, Antifa groups and collected intel on them. They'll be allowed to go only so far and then they'll be taken out. So be of good cheer. Does Trump look worried? Does he seem anxious? He looks like years have fallen off of him. The issue is not in doubt. They can't help themselves, and the DOJ is on the case.